Hello everyone, this is Divesh Goyal, practicing company secretary from Delhi. So today in this video, we are going to discuss about the latest amendment of the Ministry of Corporate Affairs that is relating to the MSME 1 form. I have received so many messages from the professionals through the WhatsApp group, Gyan Gurukul and other social media platform. They have requested me to create a video specifically on the new MSME 1 form. So in this video, we are going to discuss about the MSME 1 form. So we know MSME 1 form was available on the V2. Till now, we have filed the MSME 1 form on the V2 portal only. But now the MSME form has been transferred from the V2 portal to the V3 portal. And we know whenever we have to file any form on the V3 portal, all the forms are the web-based form. So we have to log in our MCA ID. And in that login, we have to go on to the MCA services. And in MCA services, company e-filing and company e-filing, then we have to go for the compliance services. There we will get this MSME 1 form. This MSME 1 form is definitely different from the MSME 1 we filed on the V2 portal. Because in this form, in V2 portal, we have to mention each and every entry in the form and then we have to validate the form. And there was restriction of the 90 entry into the V2 portal. But on V3 portal, you don't have to fill the entry of the MSME transaction in the form. See, this is the form. You have to mention the name of the company, type of return, like you are filing the periodic return, for which period you are filing. If you are filing for the April, for example, April to September, you are filing it. Then you don't have to fill the information here, even in the although you have to download the Excel template. In that Excel template, you have to fill the information, and this is the Excel template. And this is our main point of discussion today, how to fill the MSME 1 form. Before going how to fill the MSME 1 form, let's discuss and close one most important question. Which companies have to file MSME 1 form? Practically, MSME 1 form is applicable on each and every company. So there is no exemption whether a company is a small company, OPC, or whether a listed company, non-listed company. Even though Ministry have made one more change, even the foreign companies like branch offices, license offices, now the MSME 1 form is applicable on the branch offices also. But if it is applicable on the all companies, then what are the criteria that we have to find out to trigger whether my company have to file it or not? So if we read the instruction kit, all companies who get supply of goods and services from the micro and small enterprise, medium are not covered here, only micro and small enterprise, and whose payment to micro and small enterprise exceed 45 days from the acceptance of date of deemed acceptance. The date, what is the date of acceptance and deemed acceptance? इसको understand करने के लिए you have to study the MSME Act. Right now, I am not going to discuss the MSME Act, but as per this line, only those companies which have made payment, which have made delay in payment to their micro and small vendors by 45 days, only they have to file this form MSME 1. For an example, you are having a transaction with so many vendors who are registered under micro and small, but you have made payment to all such vendors before 45 days from the date of acceptance or deemed acceptance, then you don't have to file this form. This form applicability will be occurred when there is a exceed of 45 days for the payment to the micro and small enterprise. So this is a very important point because many persons through WhatsApp and through other social media have asked me which companies have to file. So hope I am clear here. Only those companies which had made default or which had made payment to the MSME vendor after 45 days, only they have to file this form. Now, what are the information we have to provide in Excel? Earlier, this information was very few, but now it is a very big sheet. So information will be provided like this: serial number. Then you have to name the MSME vendor. Then PAN of the supplier. Now there is a change from the V2 to V3 portal. Earlier, if we were having a transaction with the one vendor, for example, we are having 10 transactions with the vendor and all are default. Then we were making 10 entries here, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But now V3, what they said, for a single PAN number, you can make only single entry. So even though you are having more than one transaction with a single vendor, but in the MSME one form, you can mention only one entry. For example, your company have done the transaction with Goyal Divesh Associate. There are 10 transactions with Goyal Divesh Associate. Then you cannot make 10 entry here. You can make only one entry because the entry should be PAN specific. One PAN cannot be repeated. If you will repeat the PAN, then this form will give an error at the time of filing. Then next column, paid within 45 days. If you are filing this form you are filing because you have made default to some vendor. Otherwise, you was not required to file that form. But if you are filing this, now you have to give the detail of the vendor, MSME vendor to whom you have made the payment within 45 days also. So now you have to mention the modes of the payment, whether you paid through the trades or whether you made through the other mode of payment. Whatever mode you have used, you have to fill the information and you have to mention the amount here. So first is paid within 45 days. Now second, paid after 45 days. If you have made payment to any MSME vendor during the half year after the 45 days, but before closure of the half year, still you have to make entry here. Number of days, how much days after 45 days and amount. Then third, outstanding for 45 days or less. Now you are having the MSME vendor. At the end of the half year, their payment is pending. That is less than 45 days. Still you have to mention the detail here. Last one, outstanding for more than 45 days. So all the vendor whose payment are outstanding at the end of the half year, more than 45 days, their information you have to mention here. Then you have to mention the reason for delay. Now, what is the biggest change in this form? Earlier, we were mentioning only this information, outstanding more than 45 days. But now we are mentioning other information also, like paid within 45 days, paid after 45 days, outstanding less than 45 days during the half year. So now this is a very big form in comparison to the earlier form. Earlier, we were giving only one information. Now we are giving 4 type of information. So practically, we will say, if due to outstanding more than 45 days, our company have to file this form, then all those information you have to fill. So practically what we should try कि our company should not make any delay in payment to MSME vendor more than 45 days. Because if there will be no delay to any vendor, then we don't have to file this form. But even if there is a delay of the single day after single transaction after 45 days, then you have to fill this form. And if you are going to fill this form, these are the so many information you have to mention here. And the best part of this sheet, Ministry have made this sheet formula based. Like this sheet is telling you the information. If you are clicking on this point, please enter 0 if no other mode of payment not applicable. Please enter 0 if paid after 45 days is not applicable. This field should be mandatory if value entering either of the field paid after 45 days or outstanding. So reason you have to mention only in 2 cases. If you are paid after 45 days, you have to give the reason. If it is outstanding more than 45 days, you have to give the reason. If outstanding is less than 45 days or paid within 45 days, then reason is not required to be mentioned. So best part, they have created this sheet in a very good manner so that you are getting this information by clicking on the columns. So this is all about the MSME one form. I know this is now totally changed. Now it is a big task for the company to collect this data and to prepare this data for filing of this form. Earlier it was very easy to file this form, but when ministry have made the changes, we have to accept those changes and we have to work on that. So this is the new sheet. If anyone have any question, any doubt, please drop me WhatsApp message. Please mention in the comment box. I will try my best to help you in resolution of the error. Even I'm planning a webinar also on this topic in the next week. So if you are having queries, you can share with me. I will try to take up in the next webinar. So hope this video is useful to you. Any query, any message, please drop me a message. Thank you so much.